right, we're going to get started on the lesson. We're going to look at these three questions. And remember, the last thing we did in the last lesson is we were looking at simplification. And simplification just means multiply out what we know. And instead of doing FOIL, like we would in this question number 1, we do top, top, bottom, bottom, because it just makes it a little bit easier when we get to those things that are a little bit more drawn out. So if I had to go multiply the top, multiply the top, multiply the bottom, multiply the bottom, what answer would I get? Does anybody want to volunteer to answer this question? I think this is one of the more easier ones. And I'll tell you guys, you want to answer the easier ones now because the other ones are, I'm just going to put that out there. Anybody brave enough to answer this question for me? I think this is one of the more easier ones. Michael is smiling. I can feel Michael's going to answer this one for us. Hi, Michael. Do you want to unmute for me? You need to click unmute.
Sorry, I didn't know
No
it was on
worries.
mute.
Hi. No, that's no worry. Okay. Where do we start? So I'm going to multiply the top. So A times A. What's that going to give me?
Okay, so like A.
Let's try that again. Let me remove all my extra drawings. So A times A. What's that going to give me?
Like A 2A.
Good. Not 2A, A squared. Remember?
A squared.
If I have A plus A, that's going to give me 2A. But we're not adding here.
Okay,
we're multiplying. So A times A is the same as A to the power of 2. So we need to remember that. Okay. So that's the difference. So I'm going to get A times A will give me A squared. And then I'm going to have A times negative B. What's that going to give me?
Sorry, what was the question?
A times negative B. So I'm going all the way to
times
the end.
negative.
Yeah, A, this one over here, multiplied by that one there on the far end. A times negative B.
A times negative B. Yo, that's a tricky one.
That's okay. Remember, they're not the same, so we're not going to add exponents. Okay, they're not the same. A and A were the same, that's why we went A squared. But A and negative B are not the same. So all we're going to do is we're going to take A times negative B, and we're just going to put them next to each other, negative A, B. That's it. Okay, because they don't look the same. Okay, do you see what I mean? A and B, not the same, so we're not going to put them together. Now, let's have a look at this one. I've done the top and the top. I'm going to do the bottom now. So if I have B times A, what's that going to give me? Do they look the same?
No.
No.
So it's BA.
No, they don't. Good. It's just going to give me BA, positive BA, because I'm multiplying a positive and a positive BA. And then look what's going to happen. I've got a B multiplied by a B. That's my next one. Bottom, bottom. B multiplied by a B, but that's a negative B, so my answer is going to be negative. B, what's going to happen? B times B will give me? I think I've lost Michael, but it'll give us B squared. Okay, and now all I have to do is look for my like terms. I'm going to add things that look the same. Now, I know that AB and BA are the same thing. We just swap them around. Okay, I just need to do something here. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, there we go. All right. So AB or negative AB plus AB or BA is just 0. They're going to cancel each other out. So I'm going to end up with nothing in the middle. And all I'm going to have left is A squared minus B squared. Okay. And that's where we're sitting at the moment. Okay. If you're still a little confused on how to do this, this is grade 9 maths. So we need to go and practice, guys. We need to practice, practice, practice. Nonkululeko, are you asking a question or do you want to answer the next one for me, my dude? Unmute for me.
I would like to answer it.
Good, excellent. I love to hear it. Okay, we're going to do number 2 together. And remember, we're going to multiply top, top, top. And then when we're done with top, we're going to multiply bottom, bottom. Okay, so let's start with the first one. X times x squared. How much is that going to give me?
It's going to give x to the power of 3.
That's it, x to the power of 3. And then x times x will give me?
X squared.
X squared, good. And then x times 1 will give me?
1x.
Good, 1x or just x. Because you don't say I have one apple, you say I have an apple. Okay, now we're done with top. Let's do bottom. So I'm going to get bottom. -1 times x squared. What's that going to give me?
It's a negative x squared.
Good, negative x squared. -1 times x will give me?
A negative x.
Good. And then -1 times +1 will give me?
A -1.
-1. All right. Do we have any like terms that I can cancel out here?
Yes, ma'am. The x and the minus x.
Good. X minus x is 0. What else?
Oh, and the x squared and minus x squared.
That's it. X squared minus x squared is 0. What do I have left in Kulileko?
X to the power of 3 and -1.
That's it. Oh, dude, you did that so amazing. Well done. Well done. 100%. Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. Well done. Love that. Apiwe, do you want to answer the next one for me? This one is a bit of a trick question. I'm going to move this welcome grade 10s down a little bit. We're going to need the space. Apiwe, do you want to try the last one with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Do you know what the trick is here? Because there is a trick here.
So basically,
What is my
everything is in
Mhm.
is in brackets and it's basically to the power of 2. So what you're gonna do?
Good. What am I
Okay,
going to do?
So for x, you're gonna say, because it's an invisible one there as an exponent, you're gonna say x. You're gonna times that one. No, as an exponent above x.
As an exponent, yes.
As an
I
exponent.
see.
Yes, so you're basically gonna times all of the exponents by 2.
Good. Okay, except the only thing that I'm going to have a problem with up here is that there's a minus in the middle here, and I can't actually multiply all of the exponents by 2. Okay, if they were all just one big term lumped together, I could do that. But because there's a minus in between them, I might not be able to do that. Okay, Apiwe, don't go away. I want to ask you a question. Do you agree with me that x squared is the same thing as x multiplied by x? It's multiplied by itself twice. Do you see that?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Good. What if I said y squared? What is it? It's y multiplied by itself 2 times, yes?
Twice. Yeah, twice.
Right. Good. Okay. Now I have this entire bracket. I have this whole bracket squared. What does this tell me about this bracket? What are we doing to that bracket? We're multiplying it
by 2, by itself.
By itself, how many times?
2 times.
2 times, exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bracket and write xy, x minus p squared q multiplied by, what am I multiplying it by?
By xy minus p squared and q.
That's it. Do you see how this works? It works just like normal mathematics. We're just going to do an expansion of the whole bracket. Okay. And now what do I have to go back to? Look at all the other ones that we've done.
So now you're going to go xy times xy.
Good. What am I going to get?
X squared y squared.
That's it. Good. That's our first top, our other top. What is our next top going to look
xy
like?
times p squared q, which is going to equal to xy p squared q.
That's it, because none of them look the same. So we just put them next to each other. Good. Now we've done the top. Let's do the bottom. That one times that one.
It's going to be a pq.
P squared q.
P squared q, and then xy.
Good. And then the last bottom, that one multiplied by that one.
It's going to be negative p
Oops,
to the power
it's not going to
4.
be negative.
Oh, it's going to be
Yes,
positive.
negative.
Positive.
Ah, negative and a negative. Positive. Good. P to the power 4.
4 and then q to the power 2.
That's it. Do you see how much easier it is as long as we're reading the question correctly?
Yeah,
Right.
it
We're
is.
not done though. We're not done. We need to add like terms. Do any of these two look the same?
Yes, they do. The
Any of
first
the
two.
4? The first 2. Or the ones, which ones?
Oh no, the ones in the middle.
One in the middle, this one and this one. They're the same thing, right? So now we're going to add them together. But remember, this is -1 and that's -1. -1 times -1 will give me
Negative 1 minus
-1.
negative 2.
-2, good. So this one is on its own. So I'm going to put it down exactly the way it is, x squared, y squared. And then this -1 minus 1 will give me -2. And then remember up here, the order that I put them in, it doesn't matter as long as the x, the y, the p squared, and the q is there. Okay, as long as this x and that y and that p squared and that q is there, as long as they all have those, it's exactly the same. So I can just go x, y, p squared, q, and then what am I missing?
P to the power 4 and q to the power 2.
P to the power 4, q to the power 2. Okay. This is what we did the last time we were together. Hi, Tato. Tato is also new. My goodness, I feel like half my class is new today. Welcome, everybody. It's great to have you guys with us. I know I'm going to miss a couple of you. So I'm hoping that by like a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and everything will have slowed down for all of us and we'll be able to do this on a little bit better. Okay, I want to do something to this question quickly just so we can go through it. Okay, for those of you who are confused on how we did that last one, we're going to be doing question 5 quickly. And I already see that Charles's hand is up. Charles, I would like you to help me with this one, unless you've got a question. If you have a question, do you want to unmute for me? I need you to either swipe left or right, and there'll be like a big speak button that you can click on. Okay, swipe left or right on your phone, and you'll see a big button that says speak. Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you a chance to figure that one out. Tiana, do you have a question, my sweetie?
No, I don't have a question, but I want to give an answer.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Charles, can I ask you to hold that thought? Okay, remember what we just did, Tiana. I want you to help us with this exact one, this x minus 4 all squared. Okay, what am I going to do here?
Okay, so now we're going to write a bracket twice. So we're going to say in bracket x minus 4, and then another in bracket x minus 4.
Excellent. And then where do we go back to? We know exactly where we're going back to again,
and
right?
Now we're going to say x times x, which
Good.
is x to the power of 2, and then
Good, x squared.
x times negative 4x, so it's gonna be negative 4x.
Good. And then we're going to do the bottom. Another negative 4x. Good. And then what happens at the end?
16. Plus 16.
Good. Plus 16, because a negative and a negative is going to give me a positive. That's it. Plus. Good.
So now
Let's add our like terms.
So now it's x to the power of 2 minus x plus 16.
60. That's it. Okay. Do you see how easy that's really, really easy, right? It's not difficult at all. It's like one of the easier things we do. Let me give you guys one more example that looks like this, and then I want you guys to try it and give me a thumbs up in the chat when you're done. It's going to go by so quickly. Here's another one. Give me a thumbs up in the chat when you've got the answer for me. Go. And then Charles, you and I will have a conversation about this one. Oh, there we go. Hi, Charles. Oh, now he's muted again. Oh, no. I lost you. Try again. Try again. Click on the button again. The unmute button, the speak button. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yay, I can finally hear you. Hi, Charles.
Hi, ma'am.
Are you gonna help me
Yes.
with this next question?
Okay.
Okay, excellent. We're
yeah.
just gonna give everybody a chance to answer it, and then I want you to give us the answer. Okay. See, Tat was already done. We're just gonna give a couple more people a chance to finish this one.
Yes, ma'am. I do want to answer the question that you asked.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, excellent. All right, I'm getting enough thumbs up in the chat. I think everybody knows how to answer this question. Okay, Charles, let's look at this question here. What am I going to do? I know that my whole bracket is all squared. So what do I
Yeah.
need to do? I need to rewrite it. How am I going to rewrite it?
X plus 1, then
Good.
we say it again. X
Good.
plus 1.
Good.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Then what do I do next?
Then we're X times X
Good. X times X.
is X squared.
That's it.
X times 1
Yes.
is X.
Good. It's X. X times 1 is
Yeah.
X. And then we do the bottom. 1 times X.
Yes, is X.
Good. And then the last one.
1 times 1 is 1. 1.
Good. It's 1. Good.
Yes,
Now we're
ma'am.
going to add everything that looks the same. What looks the same here?
We add the like terms. We add
What are the like terms?
X plus X are the like terms.
Good.
Yes.
How much is X plus X going to give me? I'm going to have my X squared, X plus X.
Then 2X
Good.
plus 2X plus 1.
Plus 1.
Yes.
There we go. That's it. Excellent. You did that. 100%.
Thank you. Yes,
Well
ma'am.
done. All right. Alicia, we do not have a brain break. I'm so sorry, guys. We are quite behind on everything that it is we need to do. But I have a gift for you guys on Thursday. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a big brain break on Thursday, and also a little bit of a break from me, because I feel like I'm drilling you guys with this mathematics that's going on here. Okay. All right. Can I just get a thumbs up from everyone? Are we comfortable with how to simplify? That means take away the brackets and we're just multiplying things into each other. Braden says 100% yes. Excellent. Excellent. Kolani's with me. Oh no, Patu spoiled my surprise. I think he is. I'm going to switch off his camera. Otherwise he's going to, he's going to disturb other people. It's okay. I know. You guys are going to have the time of your life on Thursday. I'll make it a nice lesson with not too much in it. Okay. All right. We're going to be talking about factorization today. Okay. And we're going to go through some of the rules that normally come up. Okay. Now, your teachers will never admit this to you, but when we look at factorization in grade 10, even 11 and 12, they have to ask you these things, these 5 things. We think we're being slick, but in actuality, we can only ask you these 5 things. Okay. We can't do it any other way. It needs to be these exact 5 things. That's all we've got. Okay, so we can't do anything funky with them. We can change a number or 2 here, but these things need to be asked. Okay, we're going to start with HCF. Does anybody know what HCF stands for? You can just tell me in the chat quickly. Shireen, what does HCF stand for?
Ma'am, it stands for highest common factor.
Good, it stands for highest common factor. Good. Okay, now the highest common factor is the one thing we're always going to look for. Okay, we're always going to look for the highest common factor first. Guys, every single time, even if we are looking at dots or trinomials or grouping or cubes, start by looking at if there is a highest common factor every single time. Sometimes you'll be looking at a question and you're like, hey man, this thing is not factorizing the way I know how to factorize. You'll find that it's because you need to take out a common factor first. Okay, so make sure that you're always taking out a highest common factor. What about dots? What does dots mean? Who knows what dots means? Tiana, what is dots?
Ma'am, dots mean difference of two squares.
Excellent. I want to ask you another question before you go, Tiana. What does difference mean? Because I know some of you guys are a little bit.
I think it means multiplication.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Roma's got the correct idea, though.
That's division.
No, have a look in the chat. Roma's got the right answer. Nico's also got the right answer.
Subtraction.
It means subtraction. Okay, this is what I mean, Tiana. I mean, if I come across a number that looks like a variable's a term, a binomial that looks like this, x squared plus 9. Can I do dots with this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I factorize it using dots?
Yes, ma'am.
No. And do you know why I'm saying no? Because difference means subtract. So if this thing in the middle is not a minus, if it's not a minus, I can't do dots. Okay, so that difference means that sign in the middle needs to be a minus. So we need to make sure that the sign in the middle is a minus. If it's a plus, I can't factorize with it. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Okay, let's not forget that. It needs to be a difference, a negative in the middle. Okay, now normally when I see this and I just use x squared minus 9 as an example, it doesn't matter. This number, this variable over here needs to be squared minus another number also squared. Okay, in that case, we wrote 9, but I can square 9. I can write it as 3 squared. So I'm looking for a perfect square here and a perfect square here. And if I see something that looks like that, guys, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open 2 brackets. And then, excuse me, it doesn't matter what goes in the middle. One of these brackets will be plus and the other one will be minus. This is for dots. Okay, we will always have those 2 things. Okay, as soon as I see something squared minus something squared, open 2 brackets, make the one plus, make the other one a minus. Okay, that's the first thing we do. What is a trinomial? I'm sure we all know what a trinomial is. I just want to make sure in case somebody knows what it looks like, but they don't know what it's called. Charles, what is a trinomial?
Yes, ma'am.
What are we talking about when we look at a trinomial?
Trinomial is a term that has three or more terms. Yeah.
Okay, 3 or more would be a polynomial, and we'd be talking about an expression as a polynomial.
Okay.
You know, like a tricycle. A tricycle
Yes,
has
ma'am.
how many wheels? 3 wheels. Okay.
Good.
So when we say trinomial, we're looking for an expression with how many terms?
3 terms.
3 terms, good. But this is a specific type of trinomial. Okay, Braden's got the right idea, but remember, because we're factorizing, we need to make sure that there's a variable squared plus or minus another thing with that same variable plus or minus a number. It needs to look like that. So I'm just going to use x as a stand-in for now. So I'm going to have something x squared plus or minus something x plus or minus something. So Braden, the way you've written it, 100%, that is called a trinomial. But in this case, we want a trinomial with the same variables. Do you get that, Charles? Okay,
yes,
it needs to look exactly the same. Excellent. Excellent. So the next thing I'm going to do, as soon as I see a trinomial, I'm going to do the same thing I did with dots. I'm going to open 2 brackets. Okay, I'm going to put an x here and an x here. And then only then will I figure out the other numbers that go in. Okay, this is what's going to happen every single time I see a trinomial. Okay, now grouping always comes in if I see 4 or more terms. Okay, and that's why I name it number 4 at the school where I work. I name it number 4 so that when they see number 4 grouping, they remember 4 or more terms. So as soon as I see an expression with too many terms in it, I'm like, I need to group. Okay, I need to take either the first 2 terms, put them together in the last 2 terms, or the first 2 terms and the last 3 terms, or something along those lines, and I need to make sure that they look 100%. Okay, now we look at cubes. Okay, cubes can be plus or minus. They can be the sum or the difference. Okay, and cubes are easy to spot because as soon as I see something cubed plus or minus something else that I can also cube, I know, okay, I'm cubing. And then again, when I see cubes and they ask me to factorize, what do? I open 2 brackets. It's just that the second bracket is going to be a lot longer. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 2 brackets in case. Okay, now here's what's going to happen. If my cube is a plus over here, in my other bracket, I'm going to have a minus and a plus. If my cube is a minus over here, in my other bracket, I'm going to have a plus and a plus. And that's how it works every single time. You can never go wrong with this formula. Okay, I want you guys to have a look at everything that's written on the side of the page. You can take a screenshot. You can read. I hope you guys have been writing down all of this as I go along. Okay, this is everything you will be asked about factorization in every single exam that you're writing. There's nothing else as teachers we can do about it. We have to ask you these questions. When we're testing algebra, this is it. We might, try to trick you here or there, put an extra 2 or maybe another 3 there. No, this is it. This is all that we can ask you. Okay. Can I get a thumbs up, thumbs down? How are we feeling about the rules of factorization? These rules are very important. Kitiwe says thumbs up. Burlington's with me. I love it, my dude. Gucci, I love it. Yes, guys, that's it. All right. Now we're going to put this into practice because now I can't just give you all these rules and say, I'll be like, okay, bye guys. No, we're going to put it into practice now. Okay. I want you guys to answer questions 1 to 4. First, identify what they are and then use the rule that applies. And I cannot emphasize this enough, guys. What is the first thing we always look for before we even look for the other rules? What is the first thing we need to look for? Burlington, tell me. What is that first thing I need to look for?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Please just repeat. I didn't hear you.
What is the first thing I need to look for? What is the first thing I need to look for when I start looking at all of these?
HCF.
And HCF, that's it. Okay, even if it's dots, I still need to look for an HCF first. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a chance to do these questions. Patu, do you have a question for me or do you want to answer the next questions that come up? Okay, Patu's not unmuting. I'm going to assume that you're waiting for me to ask you a question. But okay, I'm going to give everybody 4 minutes. Questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, Patu.
Ma'am, I was asking to answer number 4.
Number 4, excellent. Okay, I want you to hold on to that and we're going to get to it. I need you to try the others as well, bro. Okay.
Ma'am, I did them.
Are you already done?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's give everybody else a chance to catch up. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And then we'll get into it. Okay, Burlington's got dibs on number 1. And Burlington, I'm sorry, you can't answer 2. I'm gonna give 2 to Mahlatsi, and I'm gonna give 3 to Babalo because she's also got her hand up. So guys, be ready. Be ready. It's okay, even if you get it wrong, I want you to try it. Okay, give it a try, look at it, and think about what we're going to do with it as we go along. Okay. Burlington, I see you saying, can I answer 1 and 2? I hope you've done number 3 and 4 as well. Roma says number 5, which means Roma already knows how to do number 5. And I'll tell you something, Roma, Number 5 doesn't have it doesn't have a highest common factor to take out. So I hope you're being careful there, because number 5 is grade 10 work. Okay, I'll give you number 5. Okay. 2 more minutes, guys, and then we'll get into it. All right, guys, that's time. Let's have a look quickly. All right. Patu, are you ready? Oh no, Patu's doing number 4. Who is doing number 1 for me again? Burlington, where did you go, dude? I'm waiting for you. Oh no, okay, I've lost everyone. Guys, come back. No, I doubt you got it wrong. I don't think so. Patu, do you want to try number 1 as well for me? Because I see your hand up. Shireen also had his hand up and then he disappeared. Okay,
Ma'am, I
do you
can
want to tell me
try.
what we're looking for? Okay, good. What are we going to look for? Remember, when we're looking for a highest common factor, we always want to start with the numbers. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'm going to look for the highest common factor between 15 and 9. What number is that going to be?
3.
Good, it's going to be 3. Excellent. Okay, and then what about between x cubed and x to the power of 5? What's my highest
X
common
cubed.
factor?
X cubed.
Good, x. I'll show you something, Patu. I'll let you know something. As long as my bases are the same, if I have x here and x there, the only thing I need to do is look for the x with the smallest number, with the lowest number. So the lowest number in this case is 3, so that's the number that we're going to take out. You get what I mean?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
If the bases are the same, we're always just going to look for the variable with the smallest exponent, and that's what we're going to take out. But now I've taken it out, and then I'm going to divide. 15 divided by 3 will give me
5.
good. And then x cubed divided by x cubed.
X squared.
Oh no, x cubed
I
divided
mean,
by x cubed is it's just 1. It's
Oh,
1 because
X
they
cubed
cancel each
divided by
other
X
out.
cubed. Oh, ma'am, it's 1.
1. So I don't have to write it anymore because that's just 5 plus times 1. Okay, plus 9 divided by 3.
3, ma'am.
It's 3. I know. Once you start doing the really hard maths, the easy maths just like poof, disappears. Okay, and then x to the power of 5 divided by x to the power of 3.
X squared.
Good, x squared. You see, you did that 100%. Beautiful. Is there anything
Thank you,
else
ma'am.
I can take out?
No, ma'am.
No, there's nothing in common there. There's no dots, there's no trinomial, there's nothing. Excellent. Don't put your hand down. I want you here for number 4. Burlington, where are you, my dude? Let's do number 2.
Yeah.
What is number 2? Tell me first, what is number 2? What kind of factorization are we doing here? Look at it. It says x squared minus 9. What are we looking at?
We're looking
Abongile is
at
giving you a hint. Abongile is giving you a hint in the chat.
dots.
It's dots. It's dots.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So what's the first thing I do when I see dots?
Bracket.
Good, 2 brackets. Good. What's going to happen to my signs?
First bracket is gonna get a negative. Second bracket is gonna get a
Good.
positive.
That's it. Good. And then I'm going to square my 2 numbers. So I'm going to go the square root my two numbers, the square root of x squared and the square root of 9. What's the square root of x squared?
It's you put x on both brackets.
Good. That's it. And then
And
the square root of 9?
it's 3 on both sides.
Good. 3 on both sides. And that's it. Well done. Amazing stuff, Burlington. Well done.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, who's doing number 4?
Patsu's doing number 4.
Who's doing number 3?
Pabalo's doing number 3. I have plenty more, Burlington. There's so many more down there that we're going to talk about. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Pabalo, do you want to do number 3 for me? What are we looking at with number 3? What kind of factorization are we doing here? Think about it. Have a look. It's something squared minus something else that we can square. What is it going to be? Oh, Pabalo's disappeared. Are you there? Let me ask Roma. Roma, what kind
Yes,
of
ma'am.
factorization are we doing here?
Dots.
With number 3. It's dots. Good. It's dots. It is. Don't doubt yourself. It is. What do I need to do here?
You need to put 2 brackets. What first you need to the 4. Yeah, first you need to put 2 brackets, and then it's going to be 2x in both brackets.
Good. Good, because I'm square rooting that and I'm square rooting that. So I'm going to have a 2x here and a 2x there. What about my signs?
It's gonna in the first bracket it's gonna be +5, and then in the second bracket it's gonna be -5.
That's it. Easy stuff. Well done, Roma. Amazing. Excellent. Everybody who's got their hand up now, I need you to not put your hand down because we're going to keep going with this momentum. Patu, number 4 is all yours.
Okay, ma'am. So we're going
What am I doing
to
first?
Ma'am, we're going to open your brackets.
Good.
And then, ma'am, we're going to look at our first number, at our first value, which is x squared. So you're going to put x in both brackets.
Good. XX.
Then, ma'am, our numbers is going to be -7 and -6.
That's it. Well done. -7 and -6. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If you guys, if you tend to get your numbers switched around or your signs switched around, because the biggest mistake that I found that grade 10s make is this negative and this negative, they get that wrong. What I normally do is I have a look at this sign over here. If this sign is a negative, but I look at this last one and it's a positive, I know that how many negatives do I need to make that positive there at the end?
2.
I need 2 negatives. So that's how I know that my signs in the middle are going to be negative, because a negative and a negative is going to give me the positive at the end that I need. Very well done, Patu. Well done. Excellent. All right. So somebody had asked me to answer number 5, but number 5 is actually grade 10 work, and we're going to be speaking about it in a bit more detail. Okay. If you do know how to answer number 5, I want you to hold on to that, because this is something that most kids haven't seen how to do yet. And we're going to be talking about how to factorize this. Now, because I already know that I've got 3 terms, 1, 2, 3, it's a trinomial. I know it's a trinomial. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to open 2 brackets. And what I'm going to do is I'm still going to put x and x. The only difference is I know that there's a number that's going to sit either in the front of this one or in the front of that one. Okay, so I'm going to keep it there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 times 32 and I'm going to multiply them together. Okay, now let me teach the cross method instead, because this might confuse some of you guys. Okay, can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down? How many of you guys know how to use the cross method to find the 2 numbers that go in front of x and on the other side and their signs? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Up here it says thumbs down. Okay, I'm getting Burlington and Tiana with their hands up. Tiana, what's up?
Now I don't know how to do it, but I wanna ask, ma'am, can I please
Yes.
do question 6?
Okay. All right, I'll give you that. Excellent. Okay, Burlington, what's up?
Can I do number 7?
Okay, I'll give you number 7. You guys are so enthusiastic. I love it. Excellent. I'll give you number 7. Tiana's doing 6. Burlington is doing 7. I wonder why nobody volunteered to do number 5. Everybody, what's going on? Okay. All right. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. Guys, remember to stay muted. Stay muted.
Come on.
Remember to stay muted, guys.
Come on, dots. Okay, so I'm gonna put
I've got somebody who's unmuted and it's quite loud. Okay, guys, remember to stay muted. Okay, Sia says, ma'am, how did you get 6 and 7 for number 4? Okay, Sia, remember these two numbers, 7 plus 6 is going to give me 13. When I add them, they need to give me the middle number. And when I multiply them, they need to give me the last number. So 7 plus 6 gives me 13. And then 7 times 6 gives me 42. Okay, so middle number, add and subtract. Last number, multiply. Okay, I hope that makes sense here. I can explain it again at the end of the lesson if you need. Okay, all right, so remember, guys, when we are doing questions like if I asked you guys to do x squared plus 5x plus 6, you guys are going to open up 2 brackets and you're going to do this. And you're going to go x, and this one is pretty easy. I know that the 2 factors of 6 that are going to give me 5 is plus 3 plus 2. Now, what we've actually done here is not that we've forgotten that each of these has a factor. We're just taking the easy route because we already know that the invisible number in front of x squared is actually 1. So what we're doing is we're taking 1x multiplied by 1x, and it's giving us 1x squared. So there is actually a factor in front of that x squared. We're just not considering it. Okay. Because honestly, guys, the factors of 1 are 1 times 1. But now if we look at this number that we've got here, I have to now look for the factors of 3, because 3 is sitting in front of my 3x squared, of my x squared. Tell me in the chat, guys, what are the factors of 3? What are the 2 factors of 3? And I'm saying 2 because it's a prime number. And, you know, we're going the easy way now. Good. They are 1 and 3. So I know that in order for me to get back to 3x squared, I'm going to do 3x multiplied by x. Because 3x multiplied by x is going to give me that 3x squared that I need. Right. Now, here's where the cross part comes in. Do you guys see how I've written 3x at the top and then x at the bottom? Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw a cross like that. Okay. Now on this side, these are the factors of x squared. On this side, I'm going to do the factors of this last number. Give me the factors of 32, guys. What are the factors of 32? And by now we should be familiar with doing this because we've done it so many times. Okay, I know that 1 and 32 is going to be one of them. Good. Jasmine says 16. 16 times 2 will give me 32. What else? That's it. I see 6. 6 times what? No, 6 is not even a factor. 8 is a factor. Good. 4 and 8. 8. I'm missing. I don't think I'm missing any of them. 3 times. Guys, I don't think 3 is a factor. I don't think 3 is a factor because 3 times nothing gives me 32. So 3 is not one of the factors that we can use here. That's it. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32. That's it. Sorry, abongile. Good. All right. So now, guys, we have to find 2 factors, right? That when multiplied by 3x and x are going to give us 20. And this is the tricky one. Remember, guys, we need to pair these. We need to pair them. So 1 times 32 is how I get 32. So I'm going to do a trial and error. I'm going to go, if I put 1 here and I put 32 there, if I multiply this way, x times 32 is going to give me 32x. 3 times 1, 3x times 1 is going to give me 3x. 32x minus 3x is not going to give me 20x. So that doesn't work. 32 and 1 don't work. Can somebody give me a pair of 2 other numbers that could possibly work? Which 2 other numbers could we try? Jasmine, what do you think? Which 2 other numbers?
16 and 4.
Okay, 16 and 4 could work, but 16 times 4 is not 32. Remember, they work in pairs. So 16, oh, and look now, I'm erasing. Okay, I need to make sure that I'm using 2 numbers that when multiplied are going to give me 32. So I can only use 16 and 2 because 16 times 2 will give me 32. So now Piwe says 2 and 16, let's see if it will work. I'm going to put 2 here and I'm going to put 16 here. Now 16 times x, or x times 16 is going to give me 16x. 3 times 2 is going to give me 6x. 16x plus 6x, nope, it's going to give me 22x. And even if I minus them, they're going to give me 10x. They're not going to give me 20x. So we need to keep trying them until we get what we're looking for. Roma says try 4 and 8. Okay, we can try, let's try 4 and 8. 4 times 8 will give me 32. Let's see if these 2 will work. I am going to put 8 here and I'm going to put 4 here. I'm just going to see if it will work. Right. 8 times x is going to give me 8x. 3x times 4 is going to give me 12x. 8 plus 12 is indeed 20x. Okay. Well done, guys. That's it. I think I may have written this question down wrong. This should have been a plus. Okay. Well done. So do you see now how I'm using the cross method? So I'm going to cross this way and I'm going to cross this way. Now, where does this cross method come from? Because both of these are positive. Why do I write it as a cross? The reason why I want it looking like this is because this is exactly how I'm going to write my brackets. I'm going to put a bracket here and I'm going to put a bracket there. And that's how I'm going to transport it back into my answer. So I'm going to have 3x plus 8 and 1x because it's just x plus 4. Okay, it's a bit tricky and we need to get used to it, but I can tell you guys now, they're going to ask you a question just like this one in the exam. Okay, yes, Tiana.
Ma'am.
Yes.
I like watching the old recordings in the same with teacher JMD teachers. She taught
Yes.
not the grade 9s though, the grade 10s.
Yes.
But anyway, if no one has questions, ma'am, can I please answer question 6?
Yes, yes, you can. unless someone doesn't have a question. Let's see if Jasmine has a question. Don't go anywhere, Tiana. And let's see. Jasmine, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. And sorry for the question as well.
Yes.
Now, how do we get the 32?
The 32. Okay. So remember, we're going to, let's say, for instance, I ask you to simplify this, Jasmine. What you're going to do is you're going to do the top, bottom thing. So I'm going to go 3x times x. That's going to give me 3x squared. 3x times 4 will give me 12x. And then 8 times x will give me 8x. And then 8 times 4 will give me 32. And then I can just add these together. 3x squared, 12x plus 8x will give me 20x plus 32. That's how we check. Remember, that's how we check for these. So those 2 numbers at the end, when multiplied together, are going to give me that 32 I'm looking for. Okay. So I know it doesn't look like the 32, it's here. It's there. Trust me, it's in there. Okay. Tiana, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What method are we using here?
Switcheroo.
Good. That's it. We're doing a switcheroo. I call it a switch and change. Excuse me. I call it a switch and change, but if you call it a switcheroo, excellent. Which one are we switching? The first one or the second one?
The second one, we're gonna keep the first one how it is, and then we're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna keep it and we're
Change
gonna say
these two
X.
around.
Yeah, we're gonna change
Mhm.
it. And then we're gonna
This
keep
is
the
going to
first
stay the same.
sign also.
Mhm.
Make it a plus.
Good. Plus y. And then
And
what
then-
happens in the bracket?
And then we use it says it's negative. Wait, it's 3x minus 2.
Good. 3x minus 2. And then I can take out my common bracket. Hey, what is my common bracket here?
Common bracket is 3x minus 2.
Good. So I'm going to take 3x minus 2 out. And what do I have left?
And then we're gonna say in the other bracket x plus y.
That's it. X plus y. I'm so glad you remember how to do these. This is grade 9 work. Hey,